happen.
The community of Mayville in Portland, North Dakota are counting their blessings after 3 teenage girls rescued their coach and teammate from the river's strong current at Turtle River State Park. The cross-country group had just finished up running the trails in the park and decided to cool off with a swim. That's when a boy slipped, fell, and got caught up in the current.
The coach jumped in to rescue the boy, but she also got caught in the current. The Grand Forks County Sheriff's Office says the fast actions of the 3 girls helped save 2 lives. Valley News Team's Ashley Bishop spoke with one of those girls and has more.
We were just swimming and having fun. I mean, the river was a little higher than normal, but it wasn't like really bad.
14-year-old Morgan Palmer says the group of 16 people were in a swimming area near the river when she heard a yell for help.
We saw that he had gotten stuck in the undertow, and then Jenny had gone in to try and save him, but she also got stuck in there because it was insane how strong the water was.
Morgan says she and her 2 friends ran down the stream to a nearby sandbar.
So I was trying to follow, but I'm not a very good swimmer, so the current started carrying me farther down the river. And so I was trying to swim back to shore, and then I turned around and saw somebody floating in the water.
Morgan said it was her coach. She pulled her to shore. Her other 2 friends grabbed the 11-year-old boy. Morgan says she didn't think she was saving lives until later that night.
I was just scared. I knew I needed to help. Like, there weren't many of us, like there were a whole bunch of younger kids there, and I didn't want any of them going in.
Morgan's father says the cross-country team has taken this trip in past years. He felt a roller coaster of emotions, relief, and pride when he got the call.
Like, along with everybody else, you know, they were trying to do what they can to rescue them. So yeah, I'm proud of her that she kind of kept her wits about her and was, you know, not freaking out, but really just trying to figure out how to help. And like I said, it's the right place, the right time.
Morgan says she has heard that both the coach and the boy that fell into the river are doing okay and have minor injuries. In Mayville, North Dakota, Ashley Bishop, Valley News Live.
Just a week ago, Turtle River State Park posted this video on its Facebook page and said the recent rains make the river unsafe for swimming or wading. The Moorhead Police Department wants you to know about a level 3 sex offender who is now living in the area. Police say 30-year-old Daniel Grinder is living in the 700 block of 12th Street North in Moorhead. Grinder had sexual contact with females under the age of 15. Authorities say he used force and coerced the victims with alcohol.
A 14-year-old boy from Thief River Falls has died after he was hit by a truck last night. Thief River Falls is located just a couple hours north of Fargo, and police there say that Gannon Halick was riding his bike through the intersection of Greenwood Street and Oakland Park Road when he was hit. He was taken by ambulance to the hospital in Thief River Falls and was later airlifted to Sanford here in Fargo, where he passed away. A 52-year-old woman, also from Thief River Falls, was driving the truck that was involved in this crash. Charges have not been filed in the case.
The popularity of the reality game Pokemon Go is prompting law enforcement and organizations to remind those playing to be safe. Now even a local co-op is chiming in. Dakota Valley and Northern Plains Electric Cooperative released this picture today, reminding Pokemon Go players to stay away from electric substations like this one, power plants and other electric equipment. The game sends players to real-world locations to catch Pokemon, putting players into potentially dangerous situations. Tune in tonight to Valley News Live, 10 at 10. We'll show you where the app could be taking your kids and what you can do to help keep them safe.
More than 500 cases of child sexual abuse have been dealt with by authorities here in the FM area in the last year or so. And the fear that it's becoming more prevalent spurred the coalition to end child sexual abuse in Cass and Clay counties to call in a national expert for training. The hope is that Jetta Bernier and her campaign can help these officials put a stop to child sexual abuse in the area. The Red River Children's Advocacy Center estimates 1 in 10 children will become a victim by the time they turn 18.
They are vulnerable. That's what kids are. Kids, by their nature, are vulnerable. They don't know how to negotiate the world quite yet. And so that's why they're targeted by these manipulative, cunning individuals who know that they have an easy target.
Part of this includes law enforcement and educating parents and teachers on what sorts of behaviors should raise red flags. The North Dakota delegation returns to the floor of the Republican National Convention in Cleveland tonight. Yesterday, there was a failed attempt by some anti-Donald Trump delegates to throw out the convention rules. Those rules bind Trump's delegates to support him, but it was shut down. U.S. Congressman from North Dakota Kevin Cramer, who's a surrogate to Donald Trump's campaign, says he thinks the party will ultimately back Trump following his nomination.
The rules is a little bit of a different issue, but the fact that you would even think you should be able to change the rules at the end of the game is pretty preposterous when you think about it. I think the unification process, if you will, is taking place. It started largely last night with a big night on the floor. I think you'll see that carry through tonight. And at the end of the day, Donald Trump, even though he's the nominee, he's presumptive so far, he'll be the nominee.
Tune in tonight to Valley News Live 10 at 10 for more on the Republican National Convention.
There's now a place where you can get fruits and veggies in Moorhead that are straight from the farm. The farmers market opened today in the parking lot of the Moorhead Center Mall. You'll find fresh produce, berries, herbs, breads, jams, jellies, and a bunch of other items. Coordinators say it's something the entire family can enjoy.
It's really good to shop locally because the food it's picked fresh, usually either the night before or even the morning of the event, so you get fresh produce.
The market will be open on Tuesday for the months of July and August from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. and in September from 3 to 6 p.m.
Good news for those of you with travel plans scheduled yet this summer. Gas prices are on the decline across North Dakota. GasBuddy.com shows an average price of about $2.21 a gallon. That's more than 2 cents lower than last week and a penny above the national average. Also, the average price in North Dakota is more than 4 cents lower than a month ago. It's about 51 cents per gallon cheaper than a year ago. In Fargo, the lowest price for gas that we've found is at Love's off of 32nd and Fleet Farm, both at $1.99 a gallon.
It's Tuesday, and that means it's time for another restaurant report card. Tune in tonight to Valley News Live at 10 at 10. We'll tell you which restaurants in Moorhead need to clean up their act and which are awarded the Clean Plate Award. So again, that's tonight on Valley News Live, 10 at 10.
More than $1 billion and a lot of hard work went into the new Viking Stadium. Later on Valley News Live at 6. Now that it's done, we'll take you inside for a sneak peek.
A serious thunderstorm moving into southern portions of Pembina County now, bringing the risk of hail, and a tornado warning continues for the next 5 minutes or so. Good news, the rotation seems to be a little bit less organized, but the hail threat goes up. Upwards of 4-inch diameter hail possible. We'll have details in your forecast next.